start with this. You have not been a full participant. What is what's going on there?
So about towards the end of last season, kind of tweaked my arm on a goal line tackle, and we were kind of working through it the whole year. Got back, in the off season, was able to get MRI. Found out I had torn about a 55% tear in my bicep. Was able to get surgery on that. It was the quickest way to get back for next season, so that was the plan. So I'm hoping to get cleared by that May 1st through that May 10th date. That's what we're hoping on, but unfortunately I'm going to miss the spring ball. But lucky for me, this is my 7th year, so technique isn't really an issue at this point. So I'm lucky to be able to help the younger guys out when I get out here and do my rehab in between.
Could you have ever fathomed 7 years playing college football?
I thought 5 years was rough when I got my red shirt. I was like, oh man, but as crazy as these past years been for everybody, it's like what else could happen. So it's just part of the whole shock we've all been going through, I think. So I'm just happy I got the opportunity.
What were some of the pros and cons that you weighed as far as whether to keep playing?
The biggest part, is when you do something like this for so long, you're in college for long, you still have to take classes, so it gets a little repetitive. I just finished my master's degree, so I have to take classes to be eligible. So it's kind of like, you still want to do school. I got family that's moving away, so I'm trying to figure out what we're doing for the future, figure out career after this and all that. But the pros are obviously it's football. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. So, I think I'm lucky enough to be able to do this for so long. So, it would be a sin to not take this opportunity, I think. The biggest challenge is just keeping your body together. I'm starting to see why guys in the league, take so much care of their body, because it does start to add up, especially when you get to year 7. You start to realize, oh man, you really got to pay attention to that stuff.
Career-wise, what are you studying?
I just graduated my master's in entrepreneurship. I did my undergrad back in New Mexico. I got a bachelor's degree in business, so kind of following that track. Hoping at the end of all this to start my own business with my family, but it's depending on how this COVID market turns out. We'll see what we'll be doing.
What business is that?
What business plan?
Yeah, what's your business plan?
So we were hoping to either start up. We had a big food industry. We had a lot of opportunities for that. We had a bunch of chefs in my family, so we were trying to figure out something to start that. But especially with how COVID's going, we're trying to figure out something more, accessible. So there's just different trends we're trying to see. The biggest thing is like drive-through now, so we're trying to think of something like that. But it's all going to be where the market's at is what I'll be doing.
I remember you said something like that. You had plans upon plans upon plans. Mm-hmm. Did you just sort of feel like you could put that off for a year, like you got a long life ahead of you?
It's tough because it's like you want to do something different, but football is such a big commitment. People don't understand. I don't think student athletes in football, especially, it's time consuming. So when you think about moving on, what's next, you kind of have to really postpone a lot of those ideas. But the good thing about a business major is there's always opportunity for wherever you want to go after this. So it wasn't too much of a shame for me.
So you haven't had the opportunity to be out there, but what are you seeing from this defensive line, Coach Hunley, and the scheme as compared to what you've been in last year and then New Mexico?
It's very exciting, especially with Coach Brown's defense. I mean, it's just like your mouth is almost watering when we're going over plays here. The younger guys especially, they're just soaking in so much knowledge, especially with this type of defense. You have so much being thrown at you. So kudos to the young guys we got, because they're taking on a very big order right now, and they're doing phenomenal. But just out there seeing them, kind of learn on the fly and pick up things, it's really cool to see, especially from an older guy's perspective, just watching young guys figure stuff out like that.
With the pressure that comes off the edge in Don Brown's defense, what's the importance of the line as far as in being involved in that process?
Oh, huge. Defensive line to me is the most important position on the field, and especially with a blitz defense like this, you got to get to your gap, you got to get there quick. The ball's coming out fast, so you got to create havoc, get your hands up, all type of things like that. So, the attention to detail, I think, is very important.
What's your favorite story that Ricky Hunley has told you, or maybe a message that he has conveyed?
He was telling us about his nickname. I probably shouldn't bring it up, but it's a funny story about his nickname. We all had a good laugh in the room, but, he's...
Something that you just, can't say?
I'm not going to say. That's his deal. You can ask him about it, but he's got a great nickname story that we got to learn about the other day, his time in the league, but... he's just got a story for everything. He's been everywhere. He's done everything, and he's just a boatload of knowledge.
Question for Eric.
At the end of the day, what made you decide to come back?
The love of the game. I really thought that we got gypped, last year. The season was just such a shamble from start to finish. I really thought, because when I transferred here, it was the hope to play Pac-12 football. If the guy gets a chance at the league, that's great. God bless him. But a chance to play Pac-12 ball was something I really, really was hoping for, and that's what my biggest decision coming here was. And I feel last year, not just me, but a lot of people, fans, everybody included, got gypped of a good season. So I'm hoping to, it's going to take a lot of work, but to get back and really get what you want, you have to put the work in for it. So
after the ASU game, what was going through your mind at that point?
It was just the icing on the cake, tip of the iceberg for what that year was. You just kind of have to throw all that out and reset your mind, because it's just, what 2020 was just from start to finish, just a turd, you know what I mean, in the nicest way possible. So just, you gotta take a week in Maui and just de-stress, and just get that out of here and look towards the future, because you can't let that hang on you.
You guys ever talk about that game?
No, we've thrown that out the window. I mean, if you saw what it was just, it was what it was. We're moving forward from it. We got a whole new identity going forward, and that's our plan.
Blackwell.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron.
Appreciate you guys.